everybody, Junior 2000 here, coming at you with a movie review of Python 2000. But this movie, I actually really enjoyed. It's a dumb, funny snake movie. I enjoy it. A lot of snake movies are not the best, but I don't mind Anaconda. I don't really give a shit about J-Lo as an actress, but I did like John Boyd and Eric Stoltz in it. Even Ice Cube wasn't that bad either, but I just don't care for J-Lo at all. I think she's a horrible actress. But all in all, Anaconda was not that bad of a movie. I even saw the shitty sequel, Blood Orchids, on DVD when I was growing up. I saw that shitty movie. That movie was entertaining. It was like a go bad, so bad it's good. But all in all, there's a lot of shitty snake movies like Anaconda versus Blake Placid. That was a piece of shit. And it had Robert Englund. Like this one had Robert Englund, and that Anaconda versus Blake Placid movie sucked ass. But one leads to another. I did enjoy that movie Boa. Boa was a movie that starred the actor Dean Cain. It was like a different snake movie, but it was like made by the same company that released this movie, UFO LLC, a UFO company. But of course, this DVD was released by 20th Century Fox, so it's a Fox DVD because it has the Fox logo intro in the opening of the DVD, a Fox DVD promo of all the action, badass films, and comedy movies and drama movies like Boys Don't Cry, There's Something About Mary, and True Lies, and Aliens, and Fight Club, all that good shit. Like, pretty good to advertise a lot of movies before this movie starts. And of course, the movie doesn't really have a lot of special features, just bloopers, outtakes, and trailers. Because there's a lot of trailers, and there's like trailers for Lake Placid, there's trailers for Ravenous, and there's a trailer for The Abyss. Those are three great underrated films. Lake Placid's a very underrated creature feature film. Ravenous is a criminally underrated, insane cannibal Wendigo American cannibal movie or some shit where they want to call it. I enjoyed that one. That was a fucking bloody insane movie. And then the other third movie is The Abyss. That's a really criminally underrated James Cameron movie. Hopefully, this shitty 4K that they keep mentioning that they come out, which I'll definitely pick that up. Hopefully it's not that bad. Hopefully it's like okay, they just overreacted thinking this shit looks bad, but hopefully it's not bad as like the Terminator 2 4K that Cameron fucked up. But all in all, let's just see and hope this is a good trend. Hopefully it's a better upgrade over the DVD that we had for years and years. No special edition, no newly transfer for the movie. Just a shitty transfer of the DVD that we always had for years and years. That movie's criminally underrated. But all in all, Python 2000. This is one of the 2000 movies I enjoyed. Up there with Little Nicky, Bring It On, The Beach, American Psycho, Scary Movie. What else? The Hollow Man came out in 2000. That's a good fucking film. That's underrated. Um, I think I mentioned Me, Myself, Irene. American Psycho. That's a great fucking film. And of course, Scream 3, which everybody wants to say that Scream 3 fucking sucks. Fuck that bullshit. Scream 3 is a lot better than those last two bullshits when we came out. I think it's an underrated movie. I think Roman's an underrated villain. I don't give a fuck if Roman gets criticized. I like Roman. I think it was really powerful and really kind of crazy to see that it was her brother in the third movie that's revealed, and he's like a solo villain, so that gives him more of a badass feel. That gives Ghostface a badass feel to him. And yeah, I think Scream 3 should have ended there. It was a great underrated sequel. But it came out in the 2000, and this movie came out in the 2000, Python 2000. Of course, you have to look it up with the year 2000 with it, because you'll look up the reptile Python, and you'll not see this movie pop up, so you have to put 2000 with it. It's free on Tubi. You guys want to check it out, or it's even free on YouTube, which I'll put the link for the movie. The link on the movie is in the description, which I'll put. But on, excuse me, folks. Just been kind of like recovering, but I'm starting to feel a little bit better now. But on, this movie is about an experiment on this giant ass snake that's getting transported into this cargo that's on a plane. So it's like snakes on the plane. It makes a lot of bumpy noise where the pilot's like wondering what the hell was all that about. And of course, the pilot's played by Ed Lauder. You guys know Ed Lauder from The Longest Yard and Death Wish 3. He's like the pilot. They're yelling at his pilot, mate, what the hell is all making that noise? And of course, the pilot mate checks the box and advises the guy to open it. Guy opens it. Fucking snake comes out and eats him. In the background, and the tail of the sharp piece of the tail of the snake pops out and hits the side of the plane, and it starts making this weird ass screaming, screeching noise. And of course, Frank Welker, famous film voice actor, did provide the voice of the snake screeching noise, the voice of the snake. So it's Frank Welker's voice making all that screeching noise, like that weird scream of the snake. Whatever, I don't know how the hell, but Frank Welker did a pretty good job with the screech of the snake, making it look creepy. Of course, they ate the pilot mate, and of course, Ed Lauder's the character that playing the plane pilot. He crashes the plane, and it makes a big explosion in the mountains. Like it crashes into this town called Ruby, because of course this it's revealed that the snake was transported from Asia, and it was gonna go to America, like in some other state, but it was not in that area. So the plane got crashed into that town called Ruby. Of course, one leads to another. After the snake, turns out the snake survived the fucking crash after he ate the pilot. Oh, of course, they first ate the pilot mate, and then they ate the pilot afterwards, because they hear the pilot screaming in an audio tape before like it went out. They crash into a mountain area, and then you get these two lesbians having sex and stuff, and you get like kind of a bit of booby action. Of course, those characters are Lisa and Roberta. They have like this funny ass conversation. Oh, I seen that you go out with guys a lot. I'm just hoping I'm the only girl that you go out. You're the only girl I can go out with, Roberta. Of course, Roberta's freaked out. She gets freaked out by this fucking python snake that almost squeezed the shit out of her. Like, holy shit, it scared the shit out of me. Of course, the character, the snake is called Lady Jean. Which is funny. Because I always think it's like, is that like a nod to that singer, Lady Gaga? Like, nah, I don't want to go there. But it's kind of a funny way to call the snake Lady G. Like, but it's really iconic too. Like, very unique way to call a snake's name. And of course, Roberta goes out to take a piss, and then she gets encountered by the snake, and it eats her. And then Lisa's like hiding into the tent, knowing the snake is surrounding, and it's gonna spit acid and eat her. Well, pretty much like it spits her out afterwards. After she gets hit with acid, even though it's not on screen, they find her dead body moments later in this movie in the campsite. Because you get this opening credit of Cellar Dwellers singing in this like opening credits that's like a shitty version opening credits of Seven, but the Cellar Dweller music's pretty good. And of course, that guy, main character, and John Cooper is riding the bike like an idiot, like not even looking around to see if he's okay. Like, because of course, like it is kind of a cool scene, but like the guy's an idiot. Like, come on, like you gotta be careful. There's like people walking around the damn like this park area, this fucking street corner, like to a deli area, to a shop. Like, You're gonna hit somebody, dipshit. But on and on out of that, I just started like hearing to the music, getting into the fucking 2000 music. Every world did the world a lie. I don't know what the hell the lyrics said, but it was a pretty funny song and cool song too. John Cooper meets up with this character named Greg, who's played by Billy Zecca, Johnny from the Karate Kid. You know, of course, now he's in Cobra Kai. But yeah, Billy Zecca plays this character named Greg, who's an off police guy. Tells him like, "Hey, you better slow down. Somebody's gonna get hurt." And the racing Coopers, this ain't the racing Cooper. You're driving like that, somebody's gonna get hurt. And of course, he puts his glasses on and leaves. And of course, Cooper doesn't give a shit, so he goes to work. After that, encounters these two idiots that are like laughing at him after he fixed up this gas mechanism, and one leads to another. Argument with his brother, then meets up with his friend Will Wheaton, is playing this character named Tommy. Will Wheaton from Stand By Me and Flubber and the Curse movie. Pretty good actor, Will Wheaton. It was for like, of course, they made him dye his hair purple, and he was like this cool, funny character named Tommy, who was like a cool friend to John Cooper. Which it sucks that his character dies, even though he was a stupid idiot to like not believe Teresa, his girlfriend, about the fucking snake. But one leads to another, they go and talk about their relationship. Oh, like I was in love with Teresa when I was seeing her in her varsity sweater on freshman year. Money, it's always about money. Kenny the closer. Of course, they mentioned this fucking Kenny Closer guy, who's a funny ass character in the movie. Because it is a silly movie too. You gotta admit, it's a silly ass movie because it does have some silly moments, being stupid and funny. Cool. One leads to another. After their conversation of the drive, they go and meet with their girlfriend. Like Tom meets up with his girlfriend Teresa, and then meets up with Cooper meeting up with his girlfriend Kristen, who's played by Dana Barron, who was in the original Vacation movie. And yeah, she's pretty solid in the movie too. Even though her character's kind of a like a jackass, like leaving Greg for his best friend John. Like that's kind of like a shitty move. But on and on, they John is like fucking around with Tommy because Tommy splashes him with water and jumps around, and Teresa has this silly ass laugh. And of course, Kristen gets freaked out seeing the snake, which is the Lady G snake that Tommy fucking points out. Oh my gosh, it's Lady G. It's Lisa Snake. Of course, Greg finds them and sees that John has the snake, telling her about what happened to Lisa. She's been missing, and they seen later. They go on to see Lisa's dead. They're found by the officers. Like her, you get this really graphic, melted skin skeleton remains of Lisa. The only thing that remains of her that you could tell it's her because she has this button shirt that she put on after she cut her after she covered her titties after she was fucking with Roberta. You could tell it's the button shirt that she was wearing, and that's the only that remains that you could tell it's Lisa. But her body's all melted. Her skeleton, she see a skull phase. Her body and skin's all melted from skin to bone, mixed with a tent, which I guess the tent was probably eating as well because the tent's mixed with her body too. Pretty brutal, pretty good practical effects. I gotta appreciate that's really good practical effects. Of course, you get appearance by John Franklin, who is Isaac. He plays a forensic files guy that's there staring at Lisa's dead body, and even this asshole character played really well by Sean Whalen. Guys, and he plays this character named Lewis, who's a fucking asshole. But you guys know who Sean Whalen is? He played Roach in Wes Craven's People on the Stairs. He was also in Twister, and he was in a few Rob Zombies movies as well. But yeah, Sean Whalen, they made this character so well that he was written to be really such a douchebag that you wanted to hate this motherfucking character. Like you really wanted to punch him in the face because he was such an asshole in this movie. Because like that's the thing I miss about how you make characters that you know they're really written well. You written the main character to be a really cool character. You mention an antagonist that he's an evil motherfucker. You written an asshole character that you just hate in this movie and you just want his ass killed. You're written a comic relief character that's a goofy ass motherfucker, and you've written a character that is a chicken shit motherfucker that's scared. That's what I miss about these movies. They had characters that you've written well, and that's the problem with new movies nowadays. They fucking suck with that. And I may do a video of that, or maybe do a stream with Keith one day about it, because I know I told Keith about it. But I want to do that, and maybe we might do a stream about it. But yeah, Lewis, he's such an arrogant ass in this movie. He's just such a fucking smart ass. And Sean Whalen, he did a good performance in this movie. He was like the best out of all the actors that were in the movie. He was the best performance in the movie because he played the character Lewis so well that he was just such an arrogant ass in the movie. But of course, they meet up with Greg, and Lewis is like an asshole. Hey, didn't you used to date Lisa? You used to date her? Everybody used to date her. Which I'm surprised that she dated everybody. I wouldn't be surprised if she fucking dated Lewis for asking Greg that question. That'd be funny. Like, how many people that she fucked in the town? Like, damn, Lisa is such a skank in the movie. Like, she fucked everybody. Even John Cooper, she had like a boyfriend connection with John Cooper, the character. Which, I don't know how to pronounce his name, Frayne Rosendorf. His character as John Cooper is pretty decent. Like, he's a pretty decent actor. I have not seen him in another movie. Like, this is probably the only movie he probably starred in, but his acting wasn't that bad either. But of course, Lewis being an ass to Greg, I'm gonna be in this case with you. Not one word. And of course, he makes his one word when he meets up with John at the workplace. Murder? But nobody said about murder. Why'd you think it was a murder? Lenny and Boone told me. Oh, and how do they know? They said you told them. Oh, I guess I did. Like, what an arrogant ass. Like, he was not going to open his mouth like shit. Like, he was going to keep his mouth shut. That Greg told him, like, hey, not one word. Fucking jackass. He opens his mouth. Murder? Nobody's saying about a murder. Like, it's just the mannerism of how he's such an arrogant ass that Sean Whalen did a good performance. Like, he was the best acting in the movie. I feel like he stole the show as being an arrogant ass in the movie. But yeah, before that, they are talking about something, all that bullshit, and then Tommy forgot his camera, and he says, "Oh shit, I forgot the damn camera at the place that I was giving the house to sell." And of course, they encountered, what's it called, Kenny, the closer, and I forgot this guy's name, but he is fucking hilarious. He's another character that's so funny. He's like, hey, Tommy. Like the way his mannerism goes, hey, Tommy, you're gonna close that thing on the fashion place tomorrow? I hope so. Hope it's for losers, kid. You gotta know, I'm treating restaurant night. And of course, the stupid kid like goes and he fucking kicks his car, his expensive, precious car. Like, hey, you scratching on hang your balls like Fuzzy dies from my mirror. You got that, Billy? You got it? You piece of monkey shit. And like the kid's like flipping him out while he's riding the bike. Like, what the fuck? That part was funny. And of course he starts talking more crazy with Tom, like, and this is Kenny the closer that's asking, are you gonna close that deal? Are you gonna close that deal? Are you gonna close that deal? Hell yeah, that's the ticket. Ka-ching, baby. Of course, he speeds away with his precious white car that looks like a Jaguar car. I'm not sure what car it is, but it looks like an expensive car. And he like speeds off like Speed Racer. Like, what the fuck? But yeah, of course they know it's about Lisa, and then they're investigating about John. Like, where was he? And then we get to meet Robert Englund's character, who's like this doctor scientist character, and he's the one that's involved creating this giant fucking snake. And Robert Englund's pretty good too. It's cool to see Robert Englund, Freddy fucking Cougar. And it's weird that he's like kissing this snake, even though like I know it's his baby pet snake, but like it's like the weirdest scene. Like after John and Greg were talking, and you get this close up of his mouth, like kissing the baby snake, python snake. Of course, you get Ken in the closer trying to sell a house to this lady. And of course, this lady's played by Jenny McCarthy. Of course, she was in other movies, especially Scream 3 that came out that year in 2000. She plays like this character named Francesca who's like doing these stupid ass face expressions like what the fuck? It was like making me distracted, like making me laugh like my ass off. Like, what the fuck is she doing? Of course, it makes it like obvious, like, oh, he wants to screw her and stuff. Where he's like talking weird and shit, did with his mannerism. Of course, they're in the bathroom trying to stare, and of course, you get Doc. You get now after that part, you get Casper Van Dein, who appears in the movie now as this agent guy with this thick Southern accent. What the hell have you gotten us into? Of course, you get like this. The music is not that bad either. You get like creepy, eerie music and adventurous jungle creature feature film music to it. And of course, after Robert Englund's character reveals a very big snake, so we know that it's a giant ass snake that they need to deal with. And of course, Kenny Closer is like trying to sell Jenny McCarthy a fucking house. You can do it, baby. Even though at first they made it think that they were screwing, but it was just like they were trying to make a deal on this paper. Like, here, I can sell you this house for this much. And then, of course, he hears his car's getting fucked over. And like, oh shit, it's Billy. Damn kids are after my car. Wait here. And of course, he yells at her coming back. All right, I'll give you this deal. Same person. Make a deal. Don't think about don't leave when I get back. Ka-ching, baby. Of course, she does this weird ass face expression. Of course, Kenny's trying to get all the weapons and shit, trying to fight the thing, and he gets his giant ass sword. Looks at his car's all fucked up, and one leads to another. This big suspenseful scene where he finds this tail that's moving, and it's the giant ass snake. The snake is like revealed behind it, and you see it's forming up, getting bigger. And of course, he noticed something stinky and smelly in the back, and it's Roberta's dead body. Because they didn't find Roberta. I think that Roberta killed Lisa, but there's Roberta's dead body with all the guts, practical effects, her skeleton remains. The only thing that you can know it's Roberta is her long hair. Not long hair, but like her girly hair. That's the only thing that remains, but her body's all skeleton and guts all over. Of course, Kenny sees this giant ass snake behind him in the garage. And of course, it attacks him. Kenny's a jackass because he doesn't even use the damn sword to cut it. And of course, the snake is trying to eat him. Throws him across the wall because he sees Jenny McCarthy. Uses his sharp blade tail to cut her and decapitate her head off. And of course, Kenny's like getting the fuck out of her, trying to get the garage door open, but it's like hold with because the mechanism is like hold with the snake's tail's weight. Of course, the snake is like looking at him, and it starts like vomiting this yellow vomit shit, which is like acid. And of course, it burns him and eats him. Eats Kenny closer, and then of course John almost encounters him, but he gets away. Casper Van Dein and Robert Englund wanted to get the snake out and take it out for good. Not that everybody get destroyed and get killed by this damn snake. They almost think that John Cooper's involved in it because he's like melting. Because they find these victims all melty. Like the only thing that melts victims like this is Ashton. And he works at his brother's place. That it's a place where they mess with and they work around acid. So they think it's John involved, but he's not the suspect about it because they revealed it to this sheriff character named Griff, who was played by Gary Grubbs. his performance is not that bad either. Of course, they get informed that it's a snake, not a nobody's killing these people. It's just a snake, and we'll take it out. Of course, they have their mission. Lewis is such an idiot. He doesn't realize what was going on in the situation. He wants to like shoot John, pointing the gun at him. John Cooper, you're under arrest. Now, let's make the decision, and now I'll take you downtown. Extend your hands. We saw Bobby. We saw you with Bobby kill you, Miss Murder, Mister Acid the Dipper. What about the handcuff? And he just grabs him, throws him in the car, and of course they go to the police station. And this scene is funny. Is where Greg and Lewis are trying to play good cop, bad cop. Lewis is such an asshole, accusing John like, "Oh, where did you get this gun?" "It's not my gun. I didn't get it, Lewis." Technicality. Always the dead bird technicality. First, screaming in the night. Well, what about the victims, mister? What about the victims? Like, everybody like looks at the room like, what the fuck is Lewis yelling at? Because he's yelling at John and stuff. Of course, he's like being such an arrogant ass, thinking that he's like all high and mighty, like he's the one, he's like the law there. Of course, Griff comes in there and shuts him the fuck up. Of course, lets John go because John's not the suspect. Of course, Casper Van Dein and his military crew are trying to go out to the bayou, and not bayou, but like out to the mountains to go and hunt the snake. And Robert Englund's with them. Of course, you get like pretty good music when they're like walking to their pretty good adventure action music. They shoot a lot of guns and grenades, like a lot of weapons, ammunitions that they wasted on this thing, but only the thing they wasted on, they didn't hit the fucking thing. It shed its skin. That's something I left it. Or bad for bad. He's like, he finds it and like, it shed its skin. You know it's molting. No, I didn't swear. He tries to shoot Robert Englund, but doesn't until like one of the mercenaries is ate by the snake, and they're getting hunted by the snakes one by one. And of course, the bald-headed mercenary guy, he's a fucking idiot. He doesn't like walk. He doesn't keep running away. He just like stands there until like the snake keeps like coming behind him, eats a stupid fucker, and then boom, Robert Englund and Casper Van Dein are like stop, like oh shit, let's just wait so it could go by and not fuck with us. Beast. Of course, Robert Englund says it like, stay completely still. But Corey, because you have to stay still, because this thing is dangerous. It's like a dinosaur. You got to stay still. Of course, Casper Van Dien's character is an idiot. He pulls the gun out, and Robert Englund's like quietly, kind of like discreetly telling him, don't. Of course, the stupid fucker's like grabbing the gun, trying to shoot the thing. But of course, the snake is smarter than him, because the snake stabs Casper Van Dien in the back and starts bleeding guts and blood out. And he's like wearing this. He's making this weird ass noise, like. After like, because of course the sharp tail was like a blade knife, like it stabbed through him in the back into the chest, like it stabbed him. But it was this stupid fucking fun. Like, why the fuck would you shoot this big ass snake with this small ass gun? Like, you're not gonna kill it. Like, they used all the assault weapons on this fucking thing. You're not gonna kill it. Of course, it killed Casper Van Dien's character off, but it left Robert Englund's character off after it sniffed his face for a bit, and then it left him alone. Robert Englund's like the one that's left. I'm assuming it killed the other mercenaries off screen, because we didn't get to see like more mercenaries getting eaten. One leads to another. Of course, Teresa and Tom are talking about some fucking movie. Like, oh, I like the black and white movie better. Where's your mom? I stuff in the freezer and I trash her in the basement. Where's she? She's in Hawaii. Oh, it's for both of us. And then of course they get the stupid jump scare by a cat. Jesus, she scared the shit out of us. And of course, because before that they were gonna make out, but this cat interrupted them with his jump scare. You know, cat jump scares. But one leads to another. Team. They wake up in the morning only to like get encountered by the snake, and then the snake attacks Tommy, which I feel like fuck Tommy, like damn it, he was a great character. Of course, he had this stupid shit where he's like drooling out of bed. Oh shit, I'm getting up, I'm getting up. Jeez. Of course, one leads to another. He's like peeking a piss, and of course, when after Teresa gets burned by the burned water because Tommy flushed the toilet, and one leads to another. He hears all this screaming. He accidentally sipped his dick by accident, and he goes ah, and you hear this big old sipper noise. One leads to another. He's like trying to get into the basement, but the snake is blocking it until like any distraction from the snake from Tommy and made Teresa get out of the way, and then the snake got Tommy because Tommy's an idiot, like saying, dude, you got me out of bed for a snake. Of course, the snake went through the door and ate him. One leads to another. She gets away. They meet up with Kristen and John, who's like trying to find them, but they encounter Robert Englund's character, and one leads to another. They want to destroy the snake, and they meet up with Greg, and Greg gets he even helps them out too. And one leads to another. They gotta chase the snake and trap it into a building or explode it. But Robert Englund knows, like, oh shit, we set it off, but nothing's coming out. No explosion because I guess one of us had to go in. So they're thinking about it, but Robert Englund's like saying redemption, and he goes in and sacrifices himself by clicking the bomb thing, blowing himself up before the snake would eat him. But the damn snake's still alive. The fucking thing is still alive, so they have to take it to and make it follow them to John Cooper's brother's workplace where he has the acid. They mess around with the acid. It goes there. The snake tries to eat some people, especially John Cooper's girlfriend and Teresa. They try to delete them, but they're saved by distraction from Gray shooting at it, and one leads to another. John is fighting it, and one leads to another. It gets dipped into the acid, and then stands up. All his guts and shit falls out. Makes its one howling scream until it hits it falls on his face and dies. And of course, everybody has their happy ending. They made the place to a bike shop, and one leads to another. Gray gets his job at the CIA and shit. And of course, Teresa's working there. John and Kristen are having a kid and all this stuff. Yeah, you end with pretty cheesy 2000 rock music. Well, yeah, that was Python 2000, folks. I enjoy this movie because anything like when it's a year that you were born, it's gonna feel nostalgic for you for a movie that you were born, and you see these great movies like this. You know, like for example, like anybody that was born in the year, like for example, my sister's born in 1993. She was great movies came out that year. Carlito's Way, Bronx Tale, The Sandlot, Dario Argento's Trauma, like pretty good stuff. Like that's how you would feel like nostalgic for a year you were born. Like for me, I was born in 2000. A lot of this great shit came out. Me, Myself, Irene, Python, Bring It On, American Psycho, Scary Movie, Scream 3, all that good shit. Even the Jim Carrey's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, that's a good fucking film. A lot of people shit on that movie, but I don't give a fuck. I like that movie. It's very underrated. And hell, Jim Carrey did 2 movies that year. A PG movie and a rated R movie. Fucking A. But yeah, I enjoy this movie. The only con that I have with this movie, It's not that the issue that, of course, there's some shitty CGI that don't holds up in the movie, but the thing that kind of annoys me in the movie is that we never got to see Lewis's death scene. The character that Sean Whalen plays, they played this character so well that he's just an arrogant ass throughout this movie. And you were expecting him to have a death scene because he was such an asshole in this movie. And Sean Whalen played the role really well. The only thing that you just see is just him like falling asleep. Like before he goes to sleep, he talks to Greg, and then he puts a hat on and goes to sleep. And then the next morning, Greg is calling him, and you just see a bunch of blood, like a bunch of blood just thrown on his seat, and the door's open, and his hat's on the floor, the dirt floor, and then Greg finds it. Like we don't get a death scene for this jackass character that was so unlikable and so dickish throughout the movie. Like come on, like that was probably the only thing I thought sucked about the movie. Like you didn't get a death scene for this asshole character that was written real, really. They written the character so well that you just hated this character. You wanted him to get like the most gruesome kill in the movie. My theory is like if I would see his death scene, I would say like he after he talks to Greg and he goes to sleep, he starts hearing this hissing ass noise, and it's the snake that's like going by his car, and then he freaks out like I don't know. He says like the fuck is this stupid snake here? Get out of here. And of course, the snake opens his mouth, acid spits on his face. And of course, Lewis is like screaming, like, fuck, this acid is like burning and melting his face. And one leads to another. He opens the door trying to get out, but the snake just, boom, grabs him, chews on him. And that's why there's blood splatter because he's like chewing the shit out of Lewis. And that's how he eats him. I wanted like something like that to be shown. Like, fuck that off-screen shit where you just see blood on the seat. That's lame. That's just half-ass and cop out. But all in all, that's my review of Python 2000. Definitely one of my favorite movies from the 2000. Hit the like, subscribe, and take care, folks. Bye bye.